Good morning, students from grade 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm Simon Chi, and I'm very happy to be here to explain the assignment of this time, of this Monday. So first, before you read and finish our online assignment this time, I suggest you to read this document, which has the title as General Guidelines of the Stroke Order, which some of you may have read it before, but I suggest you to review it thoroughly again to get some of the stroke order or writing order of the characters. So in this document we have 6 pages, and on these 6 pages we have from 1 to number 9, so 9 rules. And maybe your previous teacher had showed some of the rules to you, and for grade 9, 10, and 11, I have also introduced some of the basic rules before the quarantine, so you may review them from the beginning. We have such a point like right from top to bottom and then left to right, and we have examples here. You may see all of those parallel horizontal strokes or hengs are written from left to right, and you write parallel things from top to bottom. And similarly, if you have 2 parts in a complicated character like this one, we call them radicals, the left radical and the right radical, and we write the left one first. As you see here, we write this mu first, and then you start to write the right part. So this is rule 1, from top to bottom and from left to right. And here you may also see if we have a triangular shape in a character like this one, or if we have a top-down structure in a character, we also start from the upper one and then the lower left and then the lower right. And here similarly, upper part first and the lower part. So that's also part of the first rule. And in rule 2, we see horizontal before vertical, which means in a crossing, like such a crossing, or like a T crossing, we may write the horizontal heng first, and then the shu, vertical stroke, after that. Or sometimes it can also be some other things like a pie or like a na or zhe. When you have a cross like the vertical and the horizontal, you write the vertical part first and then the vertical stroke. So similarly in rule 3, we have the character spanning stroke last, which means if we have such a stroke like a vertical one to cross the whole character from top to bottom, we will leave that for the last. So we write everything as preparation first and then cross everything with this vertical one. Here similarly, you may see in this character we have 2 strokes that penetrate the whole character. So we write everything else first, and then we write these 2 things. And here, in this character, you may also see, write these things first, and then the longest penetrating stroke after. And here in this zhou, we write everything but this dot first, and then we write this penetrating stroke, and then the dot below it. For rule 4, we have a diagonals right to left before diagonals left to right. And in my classroom, I called it 撇 before na in the crossing, or 撇 before 点 in the crossing. So you may see in this character, we finish this part, and then a 撇, and then a na to form a crossing. But please notice we also have some exceptions like this character. We write this part first, and then this, and then this. You may think it's kind of contradicting to this rule. Yes, that's right. But later you will know why, because I will explain the reason for this exception. And here, for rule number 5, we have the center before outside in vertical symmetrical characters. You may see this character is somewhat symmetrical vertically. So we write the center first, and then the left side, and then the right side. In such a radical like this one, we also write the center part first, and then the left part, and then the right part, and then also the lower part. In this character, also the center part first. You may notice it also has 3 parallel hunks here, part of the center actually, and then the left, and then the right. And you may especially pay attention to this rule number 6. It is called enclosures before contents, which means we should construct the frame first, and then put the content inside, and then if it's really closed, then you should seal it as the last step. Similarly, in this one, you also see we have the frame first, and then the contents, and then to seal it. And if you look at these 2 characters, like this one and this one, you may find they are not closed at all. So simply frame first, and then the content. Frame first, and then the content. And rule number 7 is also about the enclosing. So when we construct an enclosing one, or an enclosure, we write the left vertical stroke first, the 竖 first, and then the 折, and the last one. 竖 first, 折, content, seal it. And in rule number 8, we have the bottom enclosures last. So when you have noticed such a radical, it always comes last. Or this one, a little bit similar to this one, but also different. We write it last. And for this one, we write the content first, and then the bottom enclosure. The last rule about stroke order is dots and minor strokes last. So when we write this U, we write this part first, and then the last untouching minor stroke like a dot. Also for this one, we'll also write this one first, and then the last dot. So these are the basic guidelines And now you can take a look at this time's assignment. It is called Top 20 Frequent Characters, Pinyin and a Stroke Order. So you may find this the has two parts, left part and right part. And in the left part, you have a small enclosures frame, which you should construct the frame and then the content and then seal it. In this shi, you also have an upper part as a little square one with the content inside. And in this zai, you have a cross like this. In this le, the first stroke and the second one. For bu, you should pay attention that the last one is a dot without touching any other parts. For wo, it's a little bit complicated. The key point is you should do this dot in the end. For you, you also have an open enclosure like this. And then, after reading these strokes and the rules applied to this character, you write each character 9 times vertically. So for this one, you have a de, you write de and a de and a de 3 times, and then 3 times again, and then the last 3 times. And similarly, number 1 to number 10. And in character number 11, zhe or j, you have a bottom. So you write the bottom last. In shuo, you write the left part and then the right part. Jiu, similarly, write left part with a small symmetrical part here. So you write the center part and then left and then right. And here you have a small crossing. So heng first and then pie and then it's zhe and then dian at the corner. For this he, you also have a crossing here and a square here. Remember the left vertical before enclosing. For ni, here you also have a symmetrical part, vertically symmetrical part. For yao, this is like a frame and the contents and the seal it. In dao, you have a crossing like this. And then similarly, you also need to practice characters from number 11 to number 20, each 9 times vertically. So here you may have zhe, 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 and zhe, zhe, zhe. All right. For guys, you don't have a printer, I suggest you write the characters on your notebook, each one 9 times, and take a picture and send it to my email address. All right, so these are the instruction of the assignment. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me. You may write to my email address. You may find my email address in each time's assignment or other documents like this. I'll be waiting for your questions. All right, good luck. Talk to you later.